is Mother's Day on Reddit, so I know that we're going to find a bunch of posts where women have been disappointed today. And just for the record, I am outside with my coworkers, the birds in the wind. So if you hear the birds, that is the reason why. They are having a Sunday morning meeting. All right, so this woman posted in the marriage subreddit saying, "My husband gave me jelly beans for Mother's Day." She says, "I'm currently 9 weeks pregnant, so this is my first Mother's Day. I know some people may not consider it, but I do, and my husband as well. He told me last week we would be celebrating. So it doesn't matter what people think about her being a mother or not. The husband said that they would be celebrating this week. That's what he said." Okay, so that's important to the story. "My husband wished me a happy Mother's Day today, but he didn't give me flowers or anything thoughtful, just a bag of jelly beans from the grocery store. The thing is, my glucose is high, and I'm at risk for gestational diabetes. I was in the ER earlier this week because I'm having anemia, low blood pressure, and my glucose was very high, and he knows that. So why candy of all things? I like to feel appreciated at special occasions. I always make him feel special on special occasions. I plan trips, take him to dinner, I take him shopping. I got us a family car last month and spent $50,000 of my own money, a 2025 Atlas SEL. And every time he gets in, he complains about a feature our car doesn't have, and compared to his parents' car, a Mercedes. I have no family around other than him. I don't see my family for more than 4 years. Oh, okay, maybe I haven't seen my family for more than 4 years. I can't even get out of bed without feeling dizzy at the moment. I force myself to eat, and I'm nauseous 24/7. So a thoughtful little note of appreciating the effort I'm putting to take care of myself and give us a child would mean a lot to me. Our wedding anniversary was last month, and he told me he got me a gift and then gave me nothing. I see my other pregnant friends getting flowers, nice gifts, or heartfelt notes of appreciation from their husbands. Why would he think that a bag of candy, something I shouldn't even be eating, is a meaningful gesture for the woman carrying his child? There was no note, no card, no effort beyond picking up candy during a grocery run when my doctor said no sugar and he knows. Am I wrong to feel annoyed? I know I'm more emotional due to pregnancy, and I've been feeling constantly sick, but I just also feel unappreciated. If anyone's wondering, yes, he can afford to get me something thoughtful, or he could simply write me a note and get me flowers. I wonder how long these people have been married, because if he's making these promises and not keeping promises this early on, it is going to set the scene for her to have constant disappointments with him telling her he's going to do something. He told me last week we would be celebrating, and then not following through. And she's sitting up here doing things to make him feel special. She's taking him out. She bought a family car that's expensive. She's planning trips. She's doing things for him. And now she is feeling like, dude, what's going on? Am I going to feel some of this? The thing about reciprocation is like, well, that has to be a word that makes sense in a relationship. There has to be some reciprocity, because if there's no reciprocity, then the resentment comes in. And the word that we are now using is bitterment. Bitterness and resentment, that goes together, because there's going to be a lot of bitterment in these relationships. If a woman is giving like, oh my God, I love this man, I need to make him feel special, and then he's lying to her. Now, I do know that not everybody is going to think that she is a mother. It does not matter. Someone could have a cat, call themselves a cat mom, and have a husband that said, we are going to celebrate in the most cat mom way. I don't care if that person is doing that. As soon as he says, we're going to celebrate, you be a person of your word and follow through. Otherwise, you are a liar. And when you have no integrity, that makes for more bitterment in the long run. And then she's going to pull back. She's going to stop making him feel special. He's going to be like, dude, what's going on? You never complained before. You were always doing little things for me before. And so that's going to create a relationship that's unstable and unsatisfying to everybody. And everybody's going to be angry and hateful. So why not just follow through, or don't say anything? But the thing is, like she said, she's pregnant. She's feeling terrible. She's feeling emotional. Why not just cater to your wife somewhat? Like, why do people have such issues just catering to your wife for just this small amount of time while the wife is doing the heavy lifting of building a baby from her body? The body is like pulling things out of her body to build this baby. It takes a lot of work to build a baby. It takes a lot of your insides. It's draining. It takes your hormones, your food, sometimes the calcium from your bones, from your teeth. There's a lot that goes into building a baby. Like, get her something that she cares about and something nice. It's really not that hard. You have the easy job. Buying a gift is the easy part. Just do it. I absolutely hate the tenor in these comments. So this person, Rack, says, maybe he thinks he's being funny. At 9 weeks, your baby is probably the size of a jelly bean. Congratulations, though. So they're giving him an excuse. EJ Mack says, we can all tell OP has such a great sense of humor right now, in sarcastic comment. So now this person is making fun of her. Winterborn says, this was literally my first thought until I read how he forgot their wedding anniversary, LOL, making light of her feeling bad about the wedding anniversary being snubbed. Cherry Sniffle, that's actually a sweet way to look at it. Maybe he was really trying to be playful and symbolic. Still, a thoughtful note wouldn't have hurt. But the thing is, she said that she can't eat candy. He was at a grocery store. They have all kind of flowers at the grocery store. They got cards at the grocery store. They got her. I'm totally sure that there are some snacks at the grocery store that this woman could eat. He could have been so much more thoughtful. Now we have a person completely downplaying this woman's feelings on this. Happy is next to you says, are you seriously upset about this? I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but I think this might be your hormones talking. I know you're excited about becoming a mother, and this Mother's Day in particular feels very momentous to you because you're pregnant, but I don't think it's necessarily fair to get upset with your husband for not going all out. He got you a small token gift to celebrate the fact that you're pregnant this Mother's Day, and that was a kind and sweet thing to do. If it's truly a problem for you, I'd recommend talking about your expectations for future Mother's Day, so he will be better prepared to do what you want going forward. But this year, I don't think he did was enough. I'm sorry you're disappointed, but I think it's best to let this one go. But he said that he was going to do it. And this person excusing him and laying the blame on her is completely unfair because, like I said, and I pointed it out twice, that he said he was going to do this. So at some point, this dude has to, take responsibility for being a liar and not having integrity. Moving Forward says she can't have sugar, LOL. It wasn't kind, but it was thoughtful indeed. The thought was, I'll get her something she can't eat, and then I'll get to eat it. I agree, it's not best to hang on this one. She should be blunt and say what she wants, unless she already has, in which case, please see my first paragraph. Snoo Gadget says, so the gift is the only thing she's restricted from? Haunting Respect says she's on a watch for gestational diabetes. That gift is either going in the trash or being eaten by him. Definitely feels like he's not listening to what she's dealing with. I think that's pretty fair to be disappointed about. Kamikaze Pop-Tart says, what? He got her something she literally shouldn't be eating. Good Lord. He could have at the very least considered her health before getting her such a thoughtless gift. I swear the bar is on the freaking floor. The bar is in hell. The bar is in Satan's pantry. Like literally, like you're at the grocery store. If the only thing that you're going to get is like another snack that she can actually eat. Bunny Tinsel says that last part hit perfectly. It's fair to want more effort, but it's also fair to let this one slide if it wasn't meant to be hurtful. Like, at some point, can we hold these people accountable for anything, or do they always just get excuses made for them? Someone ironically says, I'm guessing you feel like you're already a mother, but he doesn't feel like you're a mother yet. I'm not saying he's right or wrong. Nope, we already discussed this. They discussed this already, so absolutely not. And that's why the OP came back and reiterated. He does feel like I'm a mother. He said it himself. And then Love Laner says, I don't understand why this comment is being downvoted at all. Regardless, like I said, these comments were really downplaying the situation, in my opinion. But I do want to know what you all think. But also, at this particular juncture, because it's Mother's Day and it's Reddit, and I know it's going to be a lot of disappointment, women, think about reciprocity, and Father's Day is next month. So keep that in your brain. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, share. Yesterday, I was talking about how I was born and raised in the church. Literally, my mother is always volunteering at church. Daddy is a deacon. Granddaddy was a deacon. One of my grannies played the organ, played the piano at church. I was literally in the church. Stepdad was Catholic. I would go to his church sometimes. So we were definitely in the church. Once I left my parents' home, I moved away. I went from Oklahoma to Ohio to go to school. And once I left, I could start deconstructing how I felt about religion, because I wasn't always bought into religion. Yes, I was baptized as a little kid before I could truly, really create my own thoughts and beliefs for myself. This was just something that you did in the Baptist church. You get baptized. You're asked the question, do you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior? Absolutely. I'm a little kid. I live with my parents. I'm supposed to say yes. So I got baptized. I go to church every Sunday. I go to Bible study when my parents go to Bible study, etc. That's just what happens. Not that I really believed all that stuff, because I've always been an inquisitive child, and some of this stuff doesn't make sense to me. Still doesn't make sense to me to this day, because it just didn't. I did not feel comfortable acting like I wasn't going to be a Christian living in my parents' home. It just we couldn't have thoughts, opinions of our own, beliefs of our own. Some of us literally could not. So I didn't. But once I moved away, I was hundreds of miles away, I could start having my own beliefs, because I put myself through college. I paid my own bills. I worked my own job. When I'm at my parents' house, you do what you're supposed to do. You do what your parents say, because you don't have choices. Now, this woman, agnostic girl, says, "Hey Burb, I know you only discuss this when it's relevant to the topic, but have you ever made a video talking about leaving the faith and how your parents took it? My parents don't know I've quit yet, but I've stopped going to church, and now I dread the weekends because I know harassment is coming. Do you have any tips for how to make that convo easier for someone who also has the my way or the highway folks who might not be as understanding?" When I responded to her, I was like, I'm totally sure I've talked about this. I talk about a lot of stuff, but I don't mind making more videos because I have new people consistently being added to my page. Now, when I was away, it does not get easier to tell these people, no matter if there's a distance or not. But sometimes you just have to say things, and it's going to be a hard conversation. And so I did it over the telephone. I remember distinctly, I talked to my mom first. My mom and dad are not together. They're like two different places. I called my mom and I told my mom, I have something to tell you. I do not consider myself a Christian. I told her that. I don't know the exact words. This was more than 25 years ago. It's been a long time. But what I do remember is that this woman hung up the phone on me. My mom hung up the phone on me. She did not want to hear anything after that. I said, okay, I got that out the way. The next phone call was to my dad. I called my dad. I told my dad. I don't exactly remember the conversation because, like I said, it's been more than 25 years. However, I do remember that he did not hang up the phone on me. We had a conversation. I let him know how I felt about religion. And the thing is, me and my dad have always lived in separate places because I grew up in Oklahoma. For the most part, I would visit my dad in California when I would go out there for the summers and during his time. So it's not like he saw me in the church all the time. He's a Christian still, whatever. But the thing is, he didn't take it so hard. He listened to me, cool, whatever. My mom eventually called me back. We had a conversation. She was mean about it. My mom did not take it well. But eventually she got over it. I mean, it's been more than 25 years. My mom and I, we hashed it out. There's some rocky periods because there are going to be periods where the people who raised you just believe that you're going to believe how they believe. It's just how it goes. I am, like, by this time, I am a fully functional adult. I'm not asking for anything. And that is going to be the linchpin. If you are reliant on these people for money, you need to choose your words correctly, or you need to get yourself financially independent, because if they're going to oh my gosh, like these people that go on these missionary trips to these countries where people are starving, and like, I will give you some food as long as you confess that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior. It's like, yeah, I love Jesus, can I have some food? Like, literally, that's how they do it. So if you are reliant on these people for food, you better confess that Jesus is your Lord and Savior. Whatever. Confess it. I don't care. You got to eat. This is for survival. But if you are not at the whim of them snatching your food away because you have not confessed that Jesus is your Lord and Savior, then you better tiptoe. There better be some kind of reason to always be busy on the weekends. You're the lowest person on the totem pole. Your job is always busy because you're short-staffed and the company just can't hire anybody. You better figure out a way to lie to get out of it. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that if you can't tell them right now, because if you have to tell them, you might lose your ability to eat, and we all need to eat because food is expensive. So tread lightly until you can be okay. Like I said, my mama hung up on me. We're good now. Me and my mom are good now. But I'm also 44 years old, and it's been more than 25 years since this happened. So, eventually you pull the Band-Aid off, and then it gives them a chance to heal eventually. But, sometimes it does take some time, because even if I'm an adult, I'm still their child. So keep that in mind. I'm going to do a few of these comments that were on this post. Trixie says, I was about 9 when I figured out why my mom was so conflicted and angry by listening to the sermons. I knew then that there were no adults in the room and that I was on my own to figure out reality. Was forced to go to church until I was old enough to leave or refuse. But I bought books to read. So she took books to church. Now we have Eve. Eve says she was a cult member. She says, ex-cult member here. I remember making a big deal just playing a scratch off, playing music on SoundCloud. Every tiny thing is a big deal. Learning philosophy was such a celebration of life. So we were having a conversation about an ex-Muslim woman who just got to go outside and feel the wind in her hair. And she was saying that she felt beautiful for the first time. So it's like, it's so freeing. Sometimes it sucks. The reaction of people sucks. And that's the type of shame that keeps people conforming. That literally is part of the conforming and the traditions and the cultural stress and all of that. They do that on purpose to keep you in place. But if you're okay with them having this angry reaction and then being able to live freely, then you're getting somewhere. Amber in the Mist says, this is why Mormons have their own colleges. My dad freaked out when he learned I'd be studying psychology at a local community college. I let him convince me to change majors, and I will always regret it. He always said if I went to BYU, he'd pay for everything, including living expenses, anything else, and I was on my own. I realize now that he knows his religion is whack and was doing everything he could to keep me under his control. Facts and reality have a liberal bias. Facts do not have a bias. Facts are simply facts. Some people do not like to live in facts. They like to live in the fairy tales of their own making that are reinforced by their holy traditions or whatnot. And so, like I was saying earlier, if these people can snatch your ability to eat, they know that they have control over your life. So first, you have to get your ability to eat together so that they can't starve you into confessing that you believe in what they believe. And I'll end with Vibrant Nubian. She says, you couldn't pay me to ever return to religion, ever. The day I decided to leave it behind was the most freeing day of my life. So while it might be uncomfortable, while community you may have to rebuild, It is freeing. It's lovely. You get to spend your time how you want. You don't have to tithe. You don't have to do anything like that. You can do what you want. It's such an amazing feeling. So good luck to you. Definitely good luck to you. Join the conversation, y'all. Add your things. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. We have some Mother's Day drama. The Nero Spicy RN reeled me in with this post. Scene, Walgreens checkout line. Man in front of me looks me up and down and smiles, saying, "Ooh, you look like trouble. Give me your number, beautiful." This man was buying diapers and a Mother's Day card for his wife. I smiled at him and asked him his name and for his number. He eagerly gave me both. I was bought in. She hooked me. Let's continue. I took down his number, his full name. This one is an idiot. I let him flirt a bit more. I tell him I text him later, and if he didn't have any plans, we could get together tonight. He said he didn't have any plans after 10, and he'd be waiting. It took me 2 minutes to find him on Facebook. I now have access to his wife, his mom, and his 2 sisters. It's his wife's first Mother's Day. The Nero Spicy RN. I like this woman. She says, "I'm spiteful and I've got time today. I will be flirt texting this man to see how far he takes it, and I will be sending all the receipts to the women in his family. Don't mess with women." I love it because I am petty. I love this experiment. Whatever she is doing, I am here for it. Immediate follow. This is my type of woman. We are about these people that are this bold to like be buying a Mother's Day card for your wife and some diapers. Absolutely not. You deserve to have your whole spot blown up. I am tired of these people. The thing is, they have the time, space, and energy to cheat because they have a wife at home. If they were out here just being single and trolling for women like they are, they wouldn't be as put together. Their life wouldn't be as put together. That's the reason why these women need to divorce these men and let them try to figure out how to adult on their own, because they have too much time, energy, and resources to be able to like go out and be community peen. And to that I say, absolutely not. The spicy RN, the Neuro Spicy RN, I absolutely love this take. Now, this person's name is the Mostly Good Witch, and I absolutely do not like her take based on this name. She says, "Aw, your feminist action is to destroy another woman's marriage on her first Mother's Day. Classy." Now, you're not a good witch if you are like putting the blame on the woman that is going to alert a woman that her husband is cheating. She is not a mostly good witch at all. This is a pick Misha of the highest level. But to that, the Spicy RN said, "Are you stupid?" Or, yeah, she's definitely stupid. That's why the Urban Fox Defender says, "Yep." And then we got Netherlands saying, "Why is it always the crunchy white culture vulture hippie ladies posting the most delusional stank takes while trying to market their services? Nobody wants your tarot seminars, Karen. Go heal." Andy Sci-Fi Fan says, "If it wasn't you, he'd be flirting and potentially cheating with someone else. You're destroying that mother's world, but it could be far worse." Of John says, "He is destroying it. He is." Silky Sang says, "I can practically hear his excuse making now. Geez, wifey, what do you expect me to do? Your peaches are out of commission and I have needs. What about me?" And then she has this picture of this dancing wiener, and it says, "Ask me about my wiener." And to that, Hey Marie says, "Perfect use of the GIF, no notes." Absolutely perfect use. She did this well. High five, Silky Saint. High five. Now, this is a question that needs answering. So the Degenerate says, "How did the cashier feel about that interaction? I would have been mortified by the dude's actions. Either way, I love the pettiness." And to that, the Nero Spicy RN says, "Oh my gosh, she was older and gave me a judgy look. And once he left, I told the lady what I was going to do. And she said, 'Oh, thank God. I thought you were a dumb B word.'" The Butter Babe's response was, "Damn." And then Type Slayer says, "You and the cashier are both my new heroes. He. And then Heather says, "Yep, he deserved that." And then Karen is just like, "Yes, Yes. So y'all needed this today. I know that there are going to be tons of Mother's Day stories where women are disappointed, and we'll get to those. We'll get to the disappointment, but we needed this. We need this type of hero in our life, the one that is alerting women to her husband cheating. I felt we needed this. You let me know if you feel the same. Join the conversation. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. If you are not being poured into, pour into yourself. And remember, Father's Day is next month. Match the energy, please. All right, y'all. Let me know what you think.